Okay, just trying to see if I can get that to stop jumping. All right, it looks like it stopped. Let me see. Oh, man. All right, it seemed like it stopped. Yeah, I'm just being bored today. I'm drinking coffee. The day after my father passed. Couldn't sleep, got 5 hours in. I felt blessed to have that. And so I have to finish varnishing this so that I can give it away. And I have to not give it away so that I can. It was a commission piece, I guess you'd say. I am just trying to see how far off I am because I know I need to hold it. The responsible thing would be to move these paints that I have sitting over here. And even if I move them back here, this is the responsible thing that I was trying not to do. I don't even know why. Sometimes I just go against the grain and live to regret it, you know? Who knows why? Yeah, grief sucks though. You know, I like to come on here and tell my stories and talk about whatever comes to mind when I'm painting. Sorry. I don't like coming on here talking about grief though. Alright, I think I have it in the middle, so let me move this down. Alright, you probably won't be able to see it all. And I don't know if having it on the spinner is a good idea. Let me think now. I just have it on the spinner because I don't even know why. Oh, so that I can sometimes like do like this to look and see some of the spots that I miss. I'm trying to put an extra shine on it for the person I made it for. I'm really appreciative of, you know, how nice they've been. So I want it to look extremely good. And I've had it way too long, but just afraid to give something that don't look good. Now, just a FYI, because I know somebody will tell me, you're not supposed to pour this on the painting and brush, but I have tried everything that everyone has told me, from a sponge to a roller to a cloth. The spray works better for me, but I wanted to put a particular shiny coating of varnish on here. And so I have one of the best. I put it in here because I didn't want to pour it back in there after I put it in the pan. But I don't even know where I was going with that. But yeah, I'm just getting ready to varnish. That's all I know. This is one of these days. It's probably the only time I'll ever be excused for my brain being wherever. Oh, yeah, I've tried all different types of ways to varnish. And I do find the spray is just better, but I wanted to put like a coating, make this look as much like glass as possible. So I'm giving it, like, I've given it several coatings already, but I'm just gonna give it some more. Excuse me, 1 second. First thing in the morning, my bad. Alright. Yeah, but I found, you're not supposed to pour it directly on there, but I found that everything else that I've tried does not work. So, oops, I didn't mean to do that much. So I went out and bought me a new brush. This is why they tell you not to pour it on, and then to just give it one stroke. And I'm gonna follow instructions with the exception, I said one stroke. With the exception of the one stroke, or the extra strokes that I did, I'm gonna follow instructions as best I can. Now, what I did notice is that when I wanna do another stroke, but I'm not, because I know I have to put on at least 2 more coats to get the glass look that I want. But yeah, I found that I know I did too. I know. That is too much. Okay. It's bad enough I gotta do it that way. And then, but I did find that at least now I know that I got all of it. I didn't see that I had missed a spot before, but and I would love, normally if I was painting that right there, I would go over it, but I'm not, because remember, I had kind of connected them. So I'm just gonna have to truck it up till it's done. And the thing about this, you gotta move fast. Can't play no games, gotta move fast. Smack. I just realized I was supposed to go dang it. I was supposed to go the other way. I should have took a second and thought. I never do that. I just try to hurry up and get it going so I can stop procrastinating. And them seconds of thinking just make a huge difference. I was supposed to paint this way, and I can't now. You gotta keep doing what you did so it don't look all crazy. But the next time I'm gonna have to, am I talking too low? It's the morning time, but I know y'all wanna hear me. Like, why am I on here then? If I can't hear you. But yeah, I know the next time I'm gonna have to go horizontally. Yeah. So what happens, it looks milky now, and I was so paranoid because I should have tried a smaller one, and just to see, and I didn't. And so when I did like the first coat, I was like, oh my goodness. And then when I put it, I have a really thick cardboard, I put it over there, I placed it on there. And I think within an hour I came back, maybe less, maybe a little more, but I came back and all of that milkiness dried up, clear. And I was like, okay, we're cooking with gas. Move my coffee. I want to set up TikTok. I tried to go on TikTok once and was very intimidated, and so I have not been back. But I noticed that TikTok is where you can build your YouTube following. I've seen several people do it, and I know because they ended up getting me as fans or subscribers or whatever you want to call it. So I want to go. Did I miss? I feel like I missed it. My line is here, so I'm gonna go a little past that. I'm sorry if I'm talking low. I don't mean to. It's about 9 in the morning. When I woke up, it was 8, and when I got a call, I started talking low like this because I knew it was still early, and I think I just continued, even though it's 9. Like, I should be able to talk normal now. I think that's respectful at 9 to be able to talk normal. That's just me talking though. Somebody else might say, no, still, shush. So now I'm gonna go around the sides. I always do the sides. Some people don't, but I don't want it to just look shiny on top, like glossy, and then on the bottom it look crazy. Let me see, I got a little stuff that's spilt down here, so I just tap my brush in it. I really should have did the sides first, because then you end up with a little extra right there. You ever remember you would hear somebody, an older person, say, "Good grief." Now I know why they say "good grief," because grieving, ooh, it's a thing. It's its own thing. To anybody who's lost a parent, I just want to tell you, I know how it feels, and it sucks big time. So anyone who's never lost a parent, I just want to say you need to spend every waking day. Because you think you know this feeling sucks. I feel like I see something right there, but that just could be. Maybe it's just bubbles. I'm going to get my torch, because I know how bubbles dry. I don't know if they're bubbles, but I don't know why it looks like that. It's the first time I brushed it. Don't tell me I messed up this painting. Because something is coming off on there. I don't know what it is. And they tell you not to wash the brushes before you use them. So it's not like I could wash it. Let me try to. Yeah, it's some lint stuff. Oh no. Not good, not good. I don't know what the heck that crap is. I'm sorry, I know I'm not supposed to go over it twice, but that stuff sucks. I'd rather get it off and have to sand it down. Thank goodness I put a lot of this stuff. So now what I'm doing is brushing off crap that I don't even know what it is. And then flaking my brush to get it off. Guess I better move faster. I don't know what it is, but it's like lint. It's doing that thing when you don't move fast. It starts to dry. I may have to sand it. We'll see what happens. I'm really mad though. I got most of it off, but I don't know what those things are. like hairs and okay, that's paint. I'm gonna move fast around here. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I'm literally picking up little pieces of lint from the brush. And this was an expensive brush. This sucks. The cheap brushes didn't do this. And I can't come across it with the brush again. So far, this is still wet, so I'm able to pick up the little pieces of lint. This was not in the plan. We plan, but God is the best planner, right? You know, they say when you go live, you get more followers. And I just didn't think anybody would be interested in seeing me paint. So finally I just said, well, if nobody comes, you'll be able to just paint. You don't have to worry about who's listening. Now I talk to myself in my head. I believe we all do, but I could be wrong. I don't know. It's starting to get dry. At some point I'm just gonna have to leave it. I don't know that I'd use this brush again. And it's a possibility that after I clean the brush, I won't have this problem again. But jeez, it literally says do not clean the brush before use. I mean, don't get me wrong, some people would have left it and chalked it up to be a, what do you call it? A textured piece, but it's not what I set it out to be. Oh my God. Looks horrible over here. It's a dark color, like. Oh, you know what? It might not have been a brush. I have an air filter blown, and we were moving a lot of stuff yesterday, so maybe I should have dusted this off before I put the varnish on it. Because that's what I've always done. I've done, see, moving fast. I should have dusted it off. I'm almost certain that's what it was. Because then when I looked at the brush, I was like, I don't even see anything on the brush. And I live between about 3 different highways. Route 1, Route 9, Route 27, Route 35. And then a busy street. I think what I'm gonna do, give them a choice between this and another painting that I've done. I'll varnish it and give them a choice, because I messed this up. He might think I'm making a big deal of it. But what took me so long to give it to him was because I just appreciate it. You know, I dealt with cancer twice, and he was really nice when he didn't have to be. And I just wanted to do something really nice. So he said, well, and he gave me the colors, and I set out to make it. Looks like I got most of it, and I know at some point I have to stop because it's drying, but I wanted to get anything that looked a little gray or brownish. If it's just like little hairs, you know, that be floating in the air, then it'll probably just, when this dries, lay flat, but I don't want any gray hairs or lint looking, you know, that dust lint. That's what I'm grabbing. You live and you learn with this painting, but when you put a lot of work and effort into it, you don't want that. You know what I mean? So I'll let this dry, and then I'm going to sand it down so that I sand off, just a light sand, any crack that might be on it. So it could be a smooth surface, no dust. And then I'm gonna do it again. And I'll give him a choice. I'll have this one and another one, and then let him choose. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick this up, because I know you can't see the whole painting. Oh, okay, this is what I wanted to show you. See that right there? I'm so in love with that. This alone makes me not want to give it away. It was just a blending of, and a chemical reaction of the satin enamel paint, which is this. It was satin enamel white, the gold that's underneath, this teal blue, and some other blues. And look how it just all mixed. Oh, you can't see where I'm pointing. So when I pick it up to move it to the side to dry, there's a piece back here, back that way. I'm gonna slow up so that you can see it. Knock out gorgeous. Knock out gorgeous. All right. I said that, right? And then as I go to pick it up, I almost forgot to show you. What the heck? Why is this sticking? Okay. Okay. Oh, wait, sorry. Oh, I thought this was something I had to race and get because it's just too big. All right, I do see something I have to get. I can't live with it. I almost want to cuss it out because it's being difficult and it's showing up on the white. All right, fine. Got it. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna make this a varnish video. I know it started off with me talking about, you know, varnish or painting because of death in the family. So it's a little bit morbid, just a little bit. Yeah, maybe I won't, whatever. But I'll make it a short video and I'll include that maybe I won't because I didn't dust it off. So it's not like well, the lesson would be to make sure you varnished. And look how I started drying and it ripped the glove. All right, it's time for this to go to the side. I'll see if there's lumpy things on it when it dries. But look, see that? Look how beautiful that is. Oh, that alone, I wish if I could just take my brain and calm down from my grief and think of how to do it. I know I kept stretching it and stretching it. I was like, okay, I gotta stop stretching it. It was a little different than this, but I kept stretching it and then it ended like that. And I said, nope, that's gotta be it. That's gotta be it. Hopefully you can see it. See how that looks. And that I would make that the top of the painting. All right, let me move this to the side. Totally forgot to move the other painting. So that I could put this in that place. Someone, I was talking to a friend, he's also my mentor, and he said, show yourself some grace. And it didn't click to me what it meant until I saw how many mistakes that I was making today. Just being woke. No, I was supposed to go that way. No, I was supposed to go that way. I was praying and I said something. You know how you have a certain, I'm assuming most people have a certain prayer that they make that's like a ritual where you say the same thing in closing or opening or whatever. And I said it backwards and I was like, okay, you messed that up. And so I understand now what he means when he said, show yourself some grace. Because I was starting to say, but then I said, oh well. Like in other words, you're dealing with the grief, so that's probably why you're bugging. So, I showed myself some grace, and I just kept hearing him in my head saying, show yourself some grace. And I get it, I get it. This sucks, this really sucks. Grief sucks, but grief of a parent is a whole other level. Here's another boo-boo I made. I totally forgot this was not sitting on the thing that, the cardboard that I put it on to dry. I had it on this plastic tub that I have with some more supplies. So you see what I mean by show yourself some grief? I was like, oh man, I forgot to move, and I totally forgot that it wasn't there. Oh my goodness. There was a mosquito. I'm gonna try to get it. Oh well, I guess I will have to sand it, just at least in that area. All right. And I have some more paintings that I need to varnish. So I'm just gonna bring them out, but guess what? Not using that brush, because I feel like it's got lint clinging up in there. So, nope. And what I should have done was, I should have brought out paintings that had the push pins in the back. Make my life easy. So let me go deal with this, and then I'll come back and get started. Where's my other brush? Oh, already in the kitchen. So when you're cleaning out the varnish brush, you're supposed to use soap. Let me just show you. You're supposed to use soap. And I believe it's like a lukewarm kind of a water. And let me get the brush. I put a little more soap on my hands to put it, see, I have soap. You may not see it, but it's a thick brush. This is, I think, goat hair. And then you use this to clean it out. When I was in the Painters Union, this was like a best friend. My professor, not my professor, but my painting instructor had all kind of jokes about the brush being your friend. Oops, some of the paint is flickering. Yeah, you want to make sure you get in there. Oops. That's how you preserve your brushes. Yeah. All right, be right back. And so, should have wiped off the paintings first, because I see some stuff flickered there. Butt wipe. That didn't sound too nice, did it? Alright. Alright, I have another cloth. I'm afraid my sock may stick to me because some of the gloss medium, you know, when it dries hard and sticky. Well, sticky first and then hard. And so, yeah, some of it wrapped on my sock, so this may be a permanent sock, I don't know. So I know, like I said, that they say not to, but everything else that I try doesn't work. They tell you not to So this, I'm kind of getting the sides. Let me knock that out real quick. But they tell you not to pour it on there and to only go over it once. So I will just go over it once. But I'm sorry, I had to pour it on there. And they tell you not to do like a lot and then try to just do one coat. Sorry, I got so much. It's like I have to go over it again. Dang it, why is it spilling all cockeyed and weird? I didn't mean to go over that again. I gotta do it slanted. And it's dripping off the sides. And again, that's gonna dry really clear. There's some bubbles there, I hate that. Let me just do this one really quick. Because I have too much. I need something now that I gotta pour it in because this is pouring weird. Let me try to pour it from this side. Now if it acts up this time, when I see that milkiness, I literally have to talk to myself because I literally want to go like that. But again, they say it dries up clear, which I've seen it for myself, so I don't know why I said they say. And I went that way, so why is there, did I go across like that or something? I don't know. But I'm gonna move this down here. Move that over. I have to take my time, especially today, and for the next probably who knows how long, because I notice the way that I'm doing things. I'm saying, okay, I know what I'm doing, but I'm not taking time out. Like what I should have done was looked, okay, the last time I did that way, so this time I need to go this way. Because this is not, oh, did I mention this is my second coat? This is not my first coat. On these, the first one that I did and this one. And honestly, I was about to embellish a painting. That big one that I did, I was going to varnish that and then embellish a painting, and then I said, nope. You said you already put one coat on this one, so since you're varnishing, it would have made sense to use the same brush, but I think it might have picked up some of that dust. So I had to get another brush and commence the varnishing. I'm literally supposed to call someone and inform them that my father passed, and I can't wait too long because they'll be mad at me. But I hate to do that because their mom passed a little while back, and I just don't want to remind them. And they were really close to my father. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I remember when people used to, when they had to get to my father, they would come through me. And so a couple of deaths in the family, I was the one to take to him. This is why people go over it more than once, even though they say not to. Because I just saw some streaks that I missed. But anyway, I remember one time getting out the car and walking to him, and my father rolled his eyes and turned his head. He was like, oh, man. And he said, sometime I just hate to see you coming. I said, oh, my God, really? And he was like, yeah, but that particular time I wasn't telling him about any deaths. I just decided, you know, let me pop by and see him. And so that's when he was living in Newark. And so when I said, oh man, I was like, why you say that? And he was like, no. He said, who died? And I said, nobody. I was just coming to see you. He said, oh, I'm sorry, daughter. I was like, oh my God. I said, well, the next time I'm gonna let my sister Karen, I said, next time I'm gonna let her come and tell you. I said, because I don't need this kind of reputation. The doomsayer, the dooms police or something. All right, so these are the two that I have. I wanted to put them both up there at the same time, but I got this here. Let's try. Yeah, so these are my planets. Wait, I dust that one off already. Let me dust this one. So I got some casting. I'm sorry, should I talk about my planets? So this was a painting that I did, and it looked decent. I could have left it and lived with it, but I said, what would a planet look like? So I put something over it, a top like this, and I painted the rest of it around the top black. I think I spray painted. Yep, I did. It looks so smooth. I spray painted it, and actually I put another circle, and I didn't want to have two planets that look alike. And even though this was shaped different, they were the same color theme. So I just did that. Yeah. And then this is totally 100% spray painting. I just had a vision for a painting. I didn't want to put like there was a sun there, so I left it. You see a teeny bit of reddish. You'll see it more when it's varnished. But I wanted a lot of stars around this one, and I wanted this to be like as if it's really dark down there, so the planet kind of gets cut off. But there's some light coming there, and that's why it kind of like reflects on the planet that way. Now these, I have not, I'm sorry, my alarms are so rude. I have what do you call it? I have an alarm to remind some loved ones, younger ones, in their teens or like 12 years old, to trust your gut about people. That's what just went off. Yeah, gotta tell the youngins. Gotta let them know. Because they, one thing, I used to be a teacher, so I'm speaking from experience, but one thing that a lot of us parents don't realize is our kids spend more time in school than us during the week, than with us. And so other people are responsible for teaching your kids, and that's why you need to be careful where you put them. Because you might put them someplace for them to learn one thing, and then your kids are learning some old other stuff. You know what I mean? I put my kids, being a teacher, I put my kids where, okay, I'm gonna have to stop. All right, being a teacher, I put my kids where I knew that they can get the most benefit. My daughter puts her kids where they're the safest, and then she, does some teaching herself, having been a teacher once upon a time. But you have to make your decision on where you're going to put your kids and why ahead of time. You can't just send them off to school and they're getting good grades and be comfortable. And no, you got to be really active in your kid's life, because there's a lot that goes on in a day. Teachers and people come in with all kind of different moods, personalities, And I don't mean just because some people, when I say that, they say, yeah, because women, because people, like, they assume doctors are all men, they assume teachers are all women, and so they'll say, yeah, because how women get, that time of the month. I'm not even talking about that. I'm sure that's a thing, but I'm not even talking about that. I've seen men teachers, whether I was a student, a kid, or an adult, take liberties at popping and hitting somebody's child. And I've seen the female teachers, who you would just think female women would be nurturers, but I've seen them say, yeah, get him. You know who else you should see? The kid named such and such. And then now he's coming after, looking for different kids, and he's getting a reputation as being the disciplinarian, going to keep the kids in line. He looks good to the teachers because now they can relax more or whatever, but the kid may have done something that kids do, and now they have to deal with this harsh teacher coming at them, So, and that stuff happens, and whenever I see it, I'm so surprised, because I'm like, with everything that's been going on, like, I would just want to come in and teach, come in, teach, leave, minimum. Last thing I want to do is be putting my hands on somebody's child. Because it's not your job, it's your job to teach them. And if you don't have the words, you know, to teach them, I don't care if it's math, if you don't have the vocabulary to teach, you shouldn't be there. And I don't understand other teachers being excited at you raising your hands at other kids. That seems sick to me. Sick and demented. Anyway, I'm going to put these to the side so that they can dry. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do a big painting unless I leave it up here on the table, because I got to put these on the big cardboard. All I had for breakfast was coffee, y'all. And now my body's starting to feel like, okay, is nutrition following? What we doing? This is almost dry. See how dry it's clear? I'm so thankful for my big cardboard. Now, some of these paintings over here, I feel like waiting. This is my baby. Oh my goodness, this is one of my favorite of all times. I'm gonna let y'all look at that for a second while I go put this one to the side. This is one of my favorite swipes. This one, this is a deconstructive bloom. Do I have it upside down? No. Nope. So these are Black Mountains. This is a river. This is the sky. There's some kind of a storm going on, diminishing the sun. This is how my interpretation. Everybody has their own. And then this is more black ground. And I guess further down would have been where there was more mountains. But these are the mountain levels. They call them contours. We can look at a map, right? If you saw my other video, you know I love maps and aerial views of land. I love God's green earth. But when you look and you see like levels, you know, this is a mountain, that line separates them. So that means there's a distance, there's a difference in distance between this mountain and that one. Like a flat, like a car, it's to us, it looks tiny because it's like a aerial view, which is higher than a bird's eye view. So that little white line could be the road. And as you come closer, think of a movie, when you come in closer, that line starts to widen. And before you know it, it's a great big old street with the dashed line for the traffic to drive. But looking at it from an aerial view, it's just a mountain, a white line, another mountain, a yellow line, you know. Just trying to make some sense out of what I see when I look at it. Now, some people can look at it and just see mountains. Don't see anything about what a line could represent as far as a road or anything. They could see black dirt, black sand. So it just really is up to interpretation. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a really good job of dusting. I'm gonna leave this over here for now. The last time I left this on the table, couldn't find it. Needed it, couldn't find it. See, I'm taking time out to really dust it. I don't know, I may want to spray that one. Actually, you know what? I forgot. I said this one. I was going to this one and this one. I said that I was gonna put some resin on it. I gotta be careful. So the paintings that need to be varnished, I need to separate those boxes by those that need to be resin and those that I'm gonna paint, because I feel like this needs to have a glass look on top. Oh, I wish I could find the words. I'm so in love with this, it makes no sense. And again, this is a deconstructive bloom. I had poured 2 flowers. I have a video out for it. I poured 2 flowers, and you know, you blow them into blooms like flowers. You know, well, you blow 2 layered circles, and then with the blow dryer, you blow them into petals like a flower. So I did that, and then you stretch them. And the way that you stretch them, and the more you stretch them, this always starts to look like a sky. And this could either look, depending on the colors and the way it stretches out, it could look like just land. It could, first of all, if your paint is thick, it's gonna look like some type of a landform or landscape. But if your paint is really thin and you stretch it, it just looks like broke up flowers. So it depends on what you're going for. And sometimes I get it twisted. I say, oh, I wanna do a deconstructive bloom to look like a broke up flower, but I make it too thick, and then it ends up looking like a landscape instead of like a broke up flower, like a bloom, like a deconstructive bloom. This is a deconstructive bloom to look like a landscape. So for some reason, when I do deconstructive blooms, if I mix dark and light colors, it looks a little, I won't say doomsday, but yeah, but they still look good. When I try, I'm gonna show you some. Okay, so let me show you some other deconstructive blooms that I have where I use white for the sky. Alright, the other one that I have is just, it's too big. That is monstrous. I think it's like a 3 foot by 4 or 6 feet, I don't remember. So this one, I believe it's an 18 by 24 inch. So like 1.5 feet by 2 feet. See? It's like an explosion of the sun in a storm or something. This is the sky, everything is going crazy, which means what? The storm is blowing that way, right? Because of the way everything is going. Now this, I haven't quite figured out what else I want to do with it. Let me make sure it's all in frame. Yep, it's all in frame. So this I haven't decided what I want to do with this down here, because try to stand it up. Because once I varnish that, it's a metallic paint. It's a copper color, and it's gonna really shine. It's not gonna be as bad because I put some other paint in there, so it's not gonna shine as hard, but it's gonna have a shine to it. So I was trying to decide, do I wanna leave it? Do I wanna add trees? Do I wanna put some flowers down there? Because, a part of me, although you don't want to just keep leaving your deconstructive blooms that look like landscapes, you don't want to just keep leaving them. Sometimes you can, but a part of me wants to leave this because I felt like it was a slice of life or a slice of the sky and earth. Like imagine if you know how you cut a cake and it looks on the inside? Imagine if you could slice earth and the atmosphere or air. It feels like this is what it would look like. These are the layers of the earth you would see, and this is what's going on in the sky. That's just how my brain keeps it, and I can't do anything to it because I can't get that out of my brain. So I said I'm just gonna keep it until I get some type of feeling to do something else with it. I'm not the type of artist who's been doing this since birth. I've been doing art on and off. for decades. And so, and it was always either I was, you know, I was hired to teach it, or like I said before in another video, I had to fill in for a teacher, and I got back into art. It's like no matter how much I strayed from art or painting, I always got pulled back into it one way or another. And so, I don't know. I feel like I need to, in other words, it doesn't come to me really easy. Like some people will say, oh, I'm gonna put a boat up there and paint that blue and make it water. Or they'll say, I'm gonna make a whole bunch of flowers down there to bring out the brown, maybe some pink and whatever orange color, and I'll put some birds in the sky. You know, they might think of all kind of things, but in my mind, why would I put a bird in the sky with all of that? That's catastrophic up there. That's either the explosion of the sun or the sun, a reflection of the sun, you know, on whatever storm is brewing. The winds. It even looked like it might be some snow because of all the little dots, you know, right down here. So it's like, why would I don't know that I would put anything in the sky. If I wanted to be crazy, I would probably put a spaceship. It look like them coming into our atmosphere is changing our algorithm or something. But otherwise, I just, you know, and I wouldn't, it's not, I just said that. It didn't occur to me to do that. But and let me just show you something. I was going to say, I just don't know what to do. You can see where this was the flower. That was a petal. See? That was a petal. And then this was another one. But because I blew it out and then I stretched it. And I stretched the crap out of this. Because I started seeing how the storm was going, and I liked it. And I probably could have stretched it a little more, but I liked it as is. And there were certain things I didn't want to get rid of like that. It would have poured off. So yeah, deconstructed bloom. So I'm going to set this to the side. I got 2 more paintings that I'm going to varnish. And then I'm going to end this video. And then this one seems like I started varnishing it already, but I could tell I didn't because of that. So this must be semi-gloss paint. Well, I'm not semi-gloss, gloss. I must have put some gloss medium in the paint. So this is a little damp. I gotta wipe it because of that gloss. And I don't even know, it's just a little damp. It's barely damp, like it was to the side drying. So I don't know if that's even a good enough white. Oh my God, everybody and their mama wanna call me. And the people that's calling me, I know y'all got notifications that I'm live. What's happening? But everybody's checking on me, making sure I'm okay. Same thing I did when my friend's parents passed, you know. I woke up this morning and I sat, and then it seemed like a regular day at first. And then I sat and I thought and I said, oh, that. Yeah, grief sucks, yo. I wish I could just go over this once like they tell you to, but that just has not worked for me. And I don't even think it's a matter of me not having patience, because I am working on my patience, but I don't think that's what it is. It just, I want to do a good job. I want when people see this, they say, oh, she did a nice job with the painting, and then, you know, she varnished it nicely. And people who have been sticking to painting, not just fluid art, but all types of painting, I'm seeing them. They go one way, and then they quickly come back another way. And they say they put on 2 coats, some say they put on 3. And I just found if I don't do what works, I won't be happy. And then I don't like to smile on somebody's face when I'm selling them something that I'm not pleased with. Now this one I thought about turning into a planet, but I changed my mind because you can't see it now because it probably has a little bit of a white glare on it. See that? I don't like that. I gotta stop. It's starting to dry. But it was bubbles and it scared me. That's why you can't put too much on, because those bubbles dry very oddly. But anyway, I was gonna report over it. Okay, so if you saw one of my other videos, I said I had some paintings that I didn't like and I was gonna scrape and start it over. And then when I torched it while I was talking and thinking, some things percolated through. This was it. Well, if you go back and see the video, all of this stuff percolated through and made me like the video. Some of them are pearls, some of them are cells. Very few pearls, more so cells. And you know, so over there some cells popped up. I love this, the way that looked. So it was just a combination of the way everything happened with this that made me keep it. Now if I was to hang it, I think I would hang it that way. That's how I always thought of it. But somebody might like it that way. Someone may like it this way. Someone may like it this way. For some reason, I like it this way. And if I was gonna do it a different way, maybe this way. Because I don't know what this would be and what that is, but I like it. It's very different. And the good thing about this one is how that orange is piercing through. Yeah, I like that. Now, I'm gonna do this one. And I'm trying to think, because I feel like I like this, but I never liked the bottom. And the only reason why I didn't pour over it yet was because it has the gold, the metallic gold. And that's some expensive paint. And it wasn't even that I didn't like it, I just felt like, why didn't I make that ocean? Right now, this looks like landscape, like a sky. Not a landscape, this looks like a sky, although it looks like gold and fire flames or whatever. But this doesn't give me anything. It feels incomplete. So even if I went under the gold, and did something. So I'm just gonna leave it and think about it. I'll leave it right here. And if you think of something, you can tell me in the comments. Should I keep it? Or should I do something different? Let me see if you can see it. Yep, you can see it. This is one of those times when I wish I had a cat. I don't know why. In my brain, I just pictured a cat walking across the road when I looked at the campus. Hey, so I didn't know if I was going to be able to get back on. My battery died. Guess y'all figured that out, right? But anyway, you probably didn't even miss any time. I forgot how this works with YouTube, but yeah, battery died. I don't know where we left off at, but anyway, thanks for joining me. I will likely come on and do another painting. I'm just gonna get some breakfast and what little I can eat, just so I don't get sick and dizzy and all that stuff. But yeah, let me take you on a little bit. I'll be back at some point, but like I said, you could have been anywhere, but instead you were here with me, and I appreciate it. So I will see you soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Andrea, and I'm just saying, I'm sorry, this is